What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Juggernaut097 bring guys another video today. And today we're going to be doing a wrestling talk video. This is going to be talking about, what happened in the week of wrestling this week. We had a lot of stuff going on this week. We're off the heels of Battleground, and we're leading into SummerSlam. And, SummerSlam is looking like a pretty good show this far. And also, I have a guest with me today. Introduce yourself.
All right. It's kind of weird being on this side of reviewing. I haven't been on this side of reviewing for a while. So I am DJ Beal, and I am here on behalf of the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an instant classic, as we say in ICWP world. Justin, another guy who has some time on the podcast. We know each other pretty well. This was just kind of an idea we threw up in the air, and I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see.
Okay, so first off, we're going to be talking about some Monday Night Raw. We're going to be talking about the brawl with Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker. Of course, Undertaker, he returned at Battleground last Sunday, which was a week ago. And that was freaking awesome. I heard the rumors that Taker was going to be coming back, but I didn't know if he was really going to be coming back. And I heard rumors of him being on Raw in Kansas City, and he was. And that was freaking awesome. DJ, what are your thoughts on Undertaker with that brawl and Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, I mean, first off, you had the shock factor with The Undertaker being at Battleground. Somehow, some way, I stayed away from the spoilers and the rumors this week. So I was shocked when Undertaker was there, and then we had the brawl, which I liked. I love how Brock Lesnar was like, "Don't touch me, don't touch me," and like the one true voice that was there, the only guy that was trying to be like, calm down, Brock, was R-Trizzle. R-Trizzle about to get a title run. That's what they're trying to tell me. That's what the inside sources via the earpiece here that I'm not wearing is trying to tell me that R-Trizzle is about to get his title shot, I think. But no, I thought it was a cool brawl, though. It was cool that it lasted longer than like 3 seconds. And they kind of let them, I think the whole, let them go, break them back up, let them go thing is kind of overplayed at times, but the way they did it on Raw was actually really good. They did a good thing with the whole, as long as it lasted, and it was two big, I guess you could say, big stars going at it, which was really cool to me. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it also. It was pretty awesome, I like when not Paul Heyman, Michael Cole and the whole announcement and go like, "Deuces, I'm out of here, peace, I'm out," because when Brock Lesnar and Undertaker, they're brawl, man, I will be out of there. I'll be freaking out there. I'll just be gone. I'll be out in country, I'll just be gone. But
Michael Cole was not ready to take another F5. He was like, "I'm gone." I laughed a lot at that when he it was just Michael Cole. I was like, yes, thank you, Michael. I was like, I was entertained, as Sheamus would say, right there, man.
And there were a lot of people to break up that fight. I mean, you saw Kevin Owens out there, you saw Cesaro out there, you saw Zack Ryder, you saw a whole bunch of people out there. Pretty much the whole main roster except for John Cena, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins. And speaking of Seth Rollins, now we're going to talk about the Seth Rollins segment. He came out there, pretty much he said he got out of the fight. He got out with the championship. He said that he's pretty much been the best champion. And then John Cena came out like, this is interesting. Seeing John Cena, come out here. So looks like they might be having a rivalry. What are your thoughts on this, DJ?
I would love to see Seth Rollins have a rivalry with John Cena because, a lot of people look down on John Cena and they think he sucks and he can't wrestle. But, when you put him in there with nice, good, talented, and fresh guys, I think he does a really good job of mixing it up. I'm mixing up my words at this point. Mixing it up, especially you've seen these recent matches with Kevin Owens. Even with Rusev to a point, I think they were really good matches. Yeah, I'm interested. I I just want to see Seth Rollins go over. Like I don't want Seth Rollins to ever lose the title. I just like this whole dynamic of him having the title. Um, somehow he's got to win every time. Never lose, Seth Rollins. Never give up. Never surrender. I hope that Seth Rollins and John Cena. I kind of hope they do have a feud. I know people will be like, "Oh, they're pushing John Cena to the world title," but still, I feel like when you put John Cena in there with people identity with, I think he actually does show some decent skill. I think he shines when he needs to shine. I feel like, and I know Justin's like, no, he sucks. And if Casey was watching this, he would be like, he sucks. But I like to give him credit when I can, right? At least a little more than the rest of us.
I got positives and negatives about this. I don't really like how Cena's back in the main event picture because I thought they were going to be building up Kevin Owens to be this big main event star, but they've been kind of pushing him a little too quickly because they had Kevin Owens win at Elimination Chamber, and then they had him lose back to back here. And, I thought he was going to be getting the title at Battleground, but no, he had to tap out to Cena, which sucked. I didn't really like that. But hopefully maybe Cena would lose the U.S. title on a maybe an open challenge. Maybe he might lose it to Owens or maybe Cesaro, and maybe we might see a Cesaro versus Kevin Owens feud. That'd be pretty cool to see. But I mean, I don't know where the heck they're going with Kevin Owens. I mean, I've been hearing some rumors about how some people in the back don't like Kevin Owens. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but it could be higher power that might not like Kevin Owens back there. So. Yeah, and my positives what I do have about the John Cena versus Seth Rollins match, if they do that at SummerSlam. I mean, they had some awesome matches, back in January, in the Triple Threat match, back at TLC, their match was good. So I think they would put on a good match, but I don't really like how it's champion versus champion. So maybe I think they would maybe have Cena lose the title like on the Raw, like I said. But yeah, that's pretty much all to talk about Raw. And so I guess we're going to go move on to NXT. And you said you haven't watched NXT, right? No? So some things we had on here were, I'm not going to go into everything on here, but we had, Baron Corbin squash match. I can't remember who the guy's name was. Like,
Didn't he
this
have
came out.
Purple hair though?
Yeah, purple hair.
I saw a picture of that. It was on a wrestling memes Facebook page. I don't remember what they said, but I saw a meme of that, and I was like, okay, that sounds about right.
Yeah, he just pretty much hit the end of days. Let's try and build him up more. I mean, you had the return of Finn Balor. Since the Beast in the East show was pretty cool to see Finn Balor. He was talking about the NXT special that's going to be happening on August 22nd at the Barclays Center the night before SummerSlam. Pretty much talked about how Kevin Owens couldn't get it done at in the Tokyo show, and he's not going to be able to get it done at in Brooklyn. And he also talked about Kevin Owens done a lot of things, and pretty much he's injured Sami Zayn. He's beaten John Cena. He's took him out before. He's injured Adrian Neville before he went up to the main roster. That's pretty much what they talked about with that. And you also had a contract signing with Kevin Owens and Finn Balor at the end of the show, which was pretty cool. I don't remember much from it, but I remember the ending came. When Kevin Owens he pushed over the table, like how contract signings usually end. But what else matches do we have on here? Let me think. We had Samoa Joe match. Pretty much squashed this guy named Mike Rawless. We had Bayley versus Emma. Bayley won there.
Bayley's back?
Yeah, Bayley's back.
Yes.
And she said that she's going after Charlotte because she wants to be the best. She wants to become the NXT Women's Champion. So looks like she might be the next contender. And then we also had a Charlotte segment backstage, and Dana Brooke showed up. And looks like we're going to be having Dana Brooke versus Charlotte next week. That kind of looks like the feel. Because, Bayley challenged Charlotte to a match next week. But, Charlotte said, you know what? Bayley can hold off a week. because I got to deal with some personal issues. So that was pretty much that. All happened on NXT. What?
One thing about NXT, was Eva Marie on the card? Or actually, I got two things.
Oh yeah, Eva Marie. She made her debut. Thank you for telling me that.
How was it? How was it? I haven't watched.
It was decent. She faced Casey.
Yeah, that's where Casey is. No, I'm cheering for Eva Marie. I really am. I said this in one of my reviews, my recent review. I just don't understand, like, her in Total Divas. Like, why can't she just tell the girls that she's got opportunities in LA that WWE is helping her with, and she's training? Why can't she say that? I don't understand. Why must she be such a diva? Like, it makes no sense. And I think this is well worth mentioning. It was last week on NXT, but I gotta tell you, I am ready, willing, and Gable.
Yes, Chad Gable. I like him. I'm becoming to be a fan of him. Looks like they're building Chad Gable and Jason Jordan up to be these stars in NXT. Maybe they might get a title run, as tag team champions someday. Who knows? But who needs to be ready as tag team champions? Big Cass and Enzo. They need the titles.
I agree with that. One thing though, I don't know when they're gonna give them the titles. Are they trying to give us that Daniel Bryan dynamic where they lose until they finally win it, and then when they finally win it, we're like, oh yeah, finally. I feel like that's where they're going with that. But one thing about Chad Gable is he just has a unique wrestling style. He has that more amateur, high schoolish kind of wrestling style. I like that. I like that it's unique, but it's unique in a unique way, if that makes any sense. He's like an amateur wrestler, and it's different. He was really quick about it. I liked his wrestling style. It was just different to me.
And I think also, if I'm not mistaken, I think also next week, Blake and Murphy are going to be defending the titles against the Vaudevillains. So, I think they're going to be defending them. If I'm not mistaken, maybe that's in 2 weeks. I don't know. Wait, I think no, that's Samoa Joe versus Rhino in 2 weeks. So, yeah. But that's pretty much about NXT. It was a good show this week. I liked it. And, now we're going to move on to TNA Impact Wrestling, and this was for July 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was July 22nd. This show wasn't really good. I don't really have too much positives about this. I mean, you had Tigre Uno on there. He was calling out what's his name? He's that not Democrat, Republican. Donald Trump. He was calling out Donald Trump for what he's been saying about Mexico. Like, Jesus, this is bad. Like, oh man, please, this doesn't have to do with wrestling. So why are you doing this? You also had Drew Galloway and Eli Drake out there, which I kind of like what they're doing with this rivalry. You kind of saw him brawl a little bit. That was pretty cool. Drew Galloway tried to give him the future shock, but Eli Drake pretty much got out there. He said that he's tired of being in the shadow of Drew Galloway, and I like that segment. That was a good segment. And you also had the newest member of the Revolution also on here, which it was Serena, which is pretty exciting.
Serena from the Straight Edge Society?
No, not that one. She was part of I can't remember. She was part of OVW. She knew Mickey James for like 10 years.
Still, I still like that. It's somebody new, right?
Yeah, it's someone new. So she's the newest member of the Revolution, which I'm actually really looking forward to. And also on Impact, you had a number one contenders match. It was like a tables match for number contenders for EC3's world title. It was Bobby Roode versus Matt Hardy. And I can't remember how. Oh, Matt Hardy threw him over the rope, and Bobby Roode went flying out through a table. So Matt Hardy is the new number contender, and he's going to be facing him in 2 weeks at I think it's a sacrifice, if I'm not mistaken. That's the show that they're calling it, a special on Destination America. But that's gonna be a pretty good match. I mean, hopefully EC3 retains there. That'd be. I mean, I'm pretty sure EC3 is gonna retain. And also, they announced where Bound for Glory 2015 is gonna be at, and well, I bet most of you guys already know that, but Bound for Glory is gonna be in I think it's Charlotte, North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Charlotte, North Carolina.
Somebody was, I guess, fantasy booking, I guess you could say, and predicted that Jeff Hardy would win the title. He would come back and win the title at Bound for Glory, which I hope it doesn't happen. Please, no. That would be like worse than Matt Hardy winning. That wouldn't be worse. Please, I just don't. I've never really been a fan of Matt Hardy. I like Matt Hardy as like a wrestling mind, but I don't think like this whole number one contenders thing. I've never really liked Matt Hardy for some reason. I don't know. He's kind of like Chavo in my eyes. I've never really liked him. I've never really liked Chavo. Never really Matt Hardy. I like Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy as a team, but I don't know. And it sucks because Charlotte is so close to me. Well, it's not that close to me. It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours. But still, that's pretty close to me. And I'm really upset that I'm going to be not here being able to maybe go to Charlotte to watch Bound for Glory live. I won't even get to see it because I don't remember how far Charlotte is from me. But, I'm like, no. I'm like, finally, a pay-per-view gets near the small town in Virginia that I'm in. And I'm not going to be in this small town. I'm going to be in another small town in Virginia.
Well, I'm sorry you can't go to Virginia. I mean, no. Charlotte, North Carolina. My bad. I meant Charlotte, North Carolina. But also you have Magnus versus I think Bram, and that was a pretty good street fight. They brawled a lot outside the ring and stuff. Good match. I liked it. I think it was Bram who came out with the victory, like with a low blow, if I'm not mistaken. Which I don't really like how they did that. They had to like do like a ref bump and go like, really? It's a street fight. I mean, who cares if you low blow while the ref's standing? What else did he have on here? Can't remember really much else that happened on this show. Like, mine's really blank right now with the Impact show. I mean, it wasn't a very good week. It had a lot of segments. I know that. But, I think next we should talk about the Hulk Hogan thing, him getting fired. So, DJ, you want to talk about that? I'll take that.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan basically said the N-word multiple times. There was actually some sort of report as that he said something about The Rock in that sort of way too, which I'm like, how can he say anything wrong about The Rock? The man's like the most successful wrestler ever. I know Hogan wanted to be the most successful wrestler ever, but he didn't get into the movie spectrum like The Rock did. I don't know. It's one of those things where it comes at such an interesting time when you think about it, with all the whole Confederate flag stuff coming out, and the shooting in the churches, all of this dealing with race. I feel like it all comes out about the same time. You also had the Colin Cowherd racist remarks about the Dominican Republic and stuff like that. Like, all of this racist stuff is just all coming around about the same time. And I was like, I was thinking about it. I'm like, why would he say it on a sex tape though? I feel like that would be like the first thing that gets leaked in your like repertoire. If your main goal was to make a sex tape, I feel like if you're gonna make a sex tape, eventually it's gonna get leaked, right? Like, even if you didn't want it to, say it in that capacity. Like, I mean, it's not right to say it anyway, but if you're gonna say it, keep it to yourself in some sort of way, or keep it under wraps if you can. I just feel like it's one of those things that, I don't know. It was just a lot, and it's weird to see this guy who's such a role model. My mom, she's been hearing a lot about it, and she's like, I just don't care anymore. And I'm like, hey, I understand that, but like, to a wrestling fan and to even people outside of the wrestling community, people know Hulk Hogan. He has a pretty big brand. It may not be what it used to be, but he does have that pretty big brand. He's like that role model type of a guy. It kind of, to me, it makes me look forward to these Make-A-Wish stuff that I see with WWE. you may, I mean, you may get annoyed by it and you may think that it's a lot of pandering, but I think, it's always a good thing. SportsCenter ran a Make-A-Wish special with John Cena on it, and I was like, yeah, we need some positive light shed on wrestling. You don't see any positive light shed on wrestling anymore. You see, like, rarely ever do you see positive light shed on wrestling. You more so see the negative stuff. Hogan said the N word. Chris Benoit did what he did. You see all that stuff, and it's like, I just want to see some positive stuff on wrestling for once in my life, in the news. But I guess the negative news is what kind of, as I intern in the news business, the negative news is kind of what gets the most publicity if you think about it. So I don't know. It's shocking to me because it is Hulk Hogan, and um, you know, I think you expect that persona to be who that person really is, and it isn't always who that person really is. So I don't know, and maybe it was taken out of context. We don't know exactly how he felt or exactly in that moment what it was. I feel like, for him to say that his daughter, he doesn't want his daughter dating someone who is, I guess, politically correct here, African American, um, or let's just say black. I guess, you know it's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just his preference. That doesn't mean he's racist. That just may mean, he just prefers himself something different. Just because, for example, if I prefer, black girls over white girls, it's not that I'm being racist. It's just my preference. And I think, I think when you add the N word in there, though, it puts it in a whole nother perspective. I think that's what it is. I think that's the most of it. If he would have said it without saying that, like, it's a little bit different. But I don't know. It's just crazy. It's crazy to think about to me. I didn't even mean to get on like a mini rant or like whatever I just did on that, but I don't know. It's an interesting topic, and it's obviously kind of ruled the news world as WWE pulled his entire legacy off of their history. They basically, I guess, Chris Benoit him a little bit. They're trying to erase him from their history, which is going to be really hard because um, Chris Benoit wasn't the icon that Hulk Hogan is. So I don't know. It's I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's kind of getting the Chris Benoit treatment, like you just said there. It's kind of a shame, how he said that N word, because I try to stay away from saying the N word a lot, because I've said it a few times, when I got mad, but you can't erase Hulk Hogan from the history of WWE. Like, maybe the reason why he said that is because he doesn't want his daughter with African Americans, and you can't erase them because they got the WWE network. You can't erase it from the WWE, and they took it.
You can take his keyword out, though. you can, that's what they did to Benoit. They took his keyword out, so you can take his keyword out.
Yeah,
we won't be able to find it. We'll just be like, what?
That's funny. But Hulk Hogan, he's this big popular guy in wrestling. One of the biggest stars. And when I saw it, I saw it on Inside the Dish, and that's when I heard the news broke. I was like, really? But it's a shame. I still like the guy, but and they took all of his merchandise down from WWE shop, so none of his stuff is there anymore. So it's all gone, and so yeah, pretty much DJ summed it up. So yeah. So next we're going to talk about Global Force Wrestling. Global Force Wrestling, they had their first ever TV taping. Give me a second. Let me pull up their results for that TV taping. Should have had this pulled up before the show started. Give me a second. GFW TV taping. Give me a second. Hold on. TV taping. Here we go. So I'm going to tell you the results for the TV taping, and I don't know if they're going to be having a channel yet. But I'm pretty excited that they had their first ever TV taping, and it was at where I think it was where the Floyd Money Mayweather fight was at, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was. Okay, so you have PJ Black, former formerly known as Justin Gabriel. He beat Sonata in the Next Gen tournament. You had Bobby Roode there. You had Phoenix Star and something I can't pronounce the guy's name. They beat. I can't even pronounce that guy's name there. But you had Kushida. Kusha. He's this TNA wrestler, not TNA. New Japan wrestler. Kushida. How do you pronounce it, DJ? Kushida.
Japanese names aren't my strong suit.
Yeah, Japanese names aren't my strong suit either.
I can barely get my Lucha Underground right.
Yeah.
So
better stay away from this Global Force. But yeah, they had their first ever TV taping, which was in Las Vegas, which I hope they get on TV, like I said. But I heard it was a pretty good show for what I heard. So yeah, let's just get away from that right now. So also we had Death Before Dishonor on Friday, which that was I heard it was a pretty good show. You had Jay Lethal defending the title against Mr. ROH Roderick Strong, which I heard that was a pretty good match. I think Jay Lethal retained it. Yeah, he did retain it. Yeah, he did retain his title. You also had like a turmoil. I can't say that. Like, he had a tag team match with a whole bunch of tag teams in it. It was like the Addiction versus Red Dragon versus War Machine versus... I can't remember the fourth team. Hold on, give me a second. Yes, okay, give me a second here. Okay, I can tell you these results for this one. Okay, here we go. I'm going to tell you these results here. If I can find it. Hold on, bear with me. You want to talk about something, DJ?
Yeah, sure. Let's see here. I don't know. I haven't really caught up with my wrestling. I'm gonna try to be a little bit better for you guys next week when we have this, wrestle talk here, because I've been behind for some reason. I just got lost in my own big little world. I don't know. What's some other news I can think of right now? I don't understand how Global Force Wrestling has TV tapings without a TV network.
Okay, I found the results for the show. So we had Silas Song, he defeated Will Ferreira. We had Cedric Alexander, he defeated Moose on the show. We had the Briscoes. What? Saying what?
Okay. Come on. Come on.
You ashamed that Moose lost? I'm kind of sad that Moose lost. I don't know why they.
Yeah, I'm very ashamed.
Moose. I'm kind of sad that he did lose. We had the Briscoes. They defeated something I can't pronounce their tag team, so I'm not going to try that. I'm not going to try to botch that. We had Adam Cole. He defeated Dalton Castle. Adam Page. He defeated ACH. And then we had the Champions Addiction. They defeated Red Dragon versus War Machine versus the Kingdom. I heard that was a really good tag team match. Like, those look, that really does like a good, like a turmoil tag team match. And you also had Jay Lethal and Roderick Strong. They went for 60-minute time limit, so they had 60 time limit draw. So yeah. So I might need to go back and 60 minutes. I know.
What? Was this a pay-per-view?
Yeah, this was a pay-per-view, IPPV. I would have watched it. It. Yeah. I would have watched the show. Yeah.
What is this 60-minute time limit draw they're speaking of? I've never heard of this.
Yeah, I haven't saw a draw in a long time, like maybe since back in I don't remember when, I remember I was watching SummerSlam 88 on the WWE Network, and they had a draw there. And I was talking
There,
about draws earlier with my friend, and we were like, they haven't used draws in a very long time, and they used a draw at Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor 13. So,
yeah,
yeah.
that's a lot of trust you put in someone to put on a good enough match to where I'm still satisfied by a draw.
Yeah.
But I guess these are two guys you really don't want one of them to lose. But my question is, eventually one of them has to lose if you're going to continue this, or are you going to just throw Roddy Strong back to the Wolves or something? Is the question.
Yeah.
Because my boy Tommaso Ciampa is the guy who needs to be the champ. He's got champ in his name, so.
And see, people always pronounce Tommaso Ciampa's name wrong. They pronounce it Ciampa. It's actually supposed to be Ciampa. I don't know why people pronounce it different. Maybe because they have a hard time pronouncing it. I don't know. But I mean, that's pretty much all the news I know for this week. I mean, I know not the best wrestling talk, but I need to get back into watching some Ring of Honor. Been kind of behind on that. I've been pretty good with my TNA and my NXT, but my independent wrestling has been kind of a little bit slacking. So next week, have more news to tell. Like not news. More. Yeah.
So I just got a couple points. Kevin Owens apparently is not going to be on SummerSlam. There's a report that he may not be on SummerSlam, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Better be on SummerSlam, or I will boycott my $9.99 that I pay a month for WWE Network that they have me hooked on. I think it's a drug. It probably is. But anyway, Kevin Owens will not be on there. I'm kind of curious to see who this new Tough Enough judge is. I have stayed away from all rumors and such. Mick Foley has kind of ruled himself out as much as he hates the show. And he says he doubts they would even offer him that that chance at,
Patrick. Bring back Patrick. He'll be the judge.
I don't see Patrick being the judge. Patrick Starr, yeah. Patrick Clark, no. Come on. I don't see Patrick Clark after being eliminated being the judge.
And there were rumors about. I do miss him. There were rumors about him going. He got signed by a contract. Triple H signed the contract, but they have.
Look out for Patrick. Patrick's one you got to look out for, and this kid, Austin Mattelson or something like that. He's on Big Brother right now, but he had a job with WWE before the whole Bill DeMott thing happened. Look out for him somewhere. I don't know if he will go back to WWE. I don't know if WWE will accept him because of that. But TNA, they kind of like these Big Brother stars, Jesse Goddard. So they might pick him up, and he was a wrestler before he went to Big Brother, so he has the experience. But yeah, you should look him up, Justin. I saw him on Big Brother, and I'm like, he's gonna win. I don't think he's gonna win, but I hope he wins. He's on the verge of getting eliminated right now, so that's unfortunate. They're all ganging up against him. It's like a handicap match, man. Come on.
It's a handicap match. Man, I don't like those handicap matches anymore. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, about the Kevin Owens thing. I don't want Kevin Owens not to be on SummerSlam. I really want him to be on SummerSlam because that would suck if they took him off SummerSlam. But I've been watching SmackDown lately, and I've been seeing what they've been doing. Like they're trying to. I think there's gonna be like a Cesaro and Kevin Owens rivalry, so that'd be pretty cool. So maybe, like I said, maybe Kevin Owens could take the title off of Cena at Monday Night Raw. Maybe one of these nights before. Maybe one of these Mondays before SummerSlam.
There's another thing we got too with Sami Zayn. His injury update with him maybe being out for the rest of the year, which I cried out loud because I was so upset because I want to see him on the main roster like tomorrow or like right now, please. Because I want to see this. This is my mind working right now. I want to see this John Cena, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn match at SummerSlam.
Get Rusev in there.
And Rusev. Championship scramble. Let's do it. Championship scramble, baby. Where's Teddy Long? Where's Teddy? Holla, holla, holla. Where is he at?
Holla.
Is that his call? Like, does he just come out to holla, holla, holla? Will he just come out like downstairs to my basement if I say that enough?
It's like a good neighbor. Stay for me. But that'd be a really good match. But hopefully, Sami Zayn, comes back soon. But I doubt it. He's probably gonna be gone for the rest of the year. And Danny Bryan, I've been hearing rumors that Danny Bryan's gonna be coming back soon, so that'd be awesome. Got the yes move going on over here. But that's all pretty much all I have to say for this week. DJ, do you want to plug your stuff?
Oh, sure. I'm always in the mood to plug it in, plug it in. What was those, like Glade commercials or something back in the day? I don't know. But yeah, I got this WrestleMania shirt from Rugged Warehouse. If you can see it, I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you can. It's a WrestleMania 30 shirt. It has like Batista and Daniel Bryan and all them people on it. But yeah, I got this from Rugged Warehouse. So if you are looking for cheap wrestling shirts, it's only $5.99. Go to Rugged Warehouse. They may be a little bit dated because this is a WrestleMania 30 shirt. We just had WrestleMania 31, but WrestleMania is kind of timeless. They had, let me think of some updates. Just stay away from the Virginia, North Carolina lines. Like, just stay away. Those are mine. Those are my stores. But other than that, you can go anywhere else you want to, as far as Rugged Warehouse is concerned. But yeah, like they had like the Daniel Bryan no shirts, which was kind of cool. Vince McMahon shirt. And they had like a Miz Big Show something else something another shirt from like so they got some nice shirts for a pretty good price, especially shirts today. Plug, that's what I'm supposed to be doing, not plugging Rugged Warehouse, but Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always Instant Classic. If I don't say it at least once, Casey would get mad at me. So I'd hate to make him mad. I gotta work with him at some point in the near future. But yeah, it's down here. The podcast Twitter is there. My Twitter is over there. My DJ Beal, that's BEAL. Be sure to search it if you want some more of this impressive physique. There's no physique. You can't even see it. You can't even see the muscles. No, I'm just kidding. There's no physique here. Let's be honest at this point. But yeah, I appreciate being able to come on. I hope we do this more often. I like this little round table thing. I like this. I'm a fan.
Okay, so don't forget to follow me on Twitter at the True JSB, and don't forget to subscribe. Just one little subscriber. That's all it takes. One little subscriber. And also don't forget to follow the podcast ICWP. And also don't forget to subscribe to DJ Bill. Go subscribe to his channel. I'm a part of their podcast, the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. The only podcast that is an Instant Classic. Hey, I kind of like saying that now. That's catchy saying. It's actually, I see why you say it now. But yeah, it's pretty much all I have to say for you guys today. And also think we're gonna be doing this next week. I kind of like doing this. This is pretty fun. It's pretty fun doing this. So yeah, Juggernaut saying peace out.